How's it going, guys? Back for another review here. Another one of the beers sent to me by Norm from Beer Expedition, mybeerquest.com. Again, thanks very much to Norm. This is Port Brewing's Old Viscosity Ale. Not your dad's 30 weight, it says. Ale aged in oak barrels. 10% alcohol by volume. Everyone always asks us, what kind of beer is Old Viscosity? We have to pause for a minute here, as there are restrictions about how you can and can't describe beer on our label. Since you've already asked, we decided to tell you that it's thick, as in my chest just grew a wool coat sort of way. It's dark and sludgy like the old sow oozing from the crank of that old truck. Beers like Old Viscosity are revered like old school pieces of equipment we know and love, the ones that cause people to say they don't build them like this anymore. We know you'll come to love and appreciate everything about Old Viscosity, even if we never tell you exactly what kind of beer it is. I'm assuming it's going to be something along the lines of a barley wine. I didn't do any real research on this one. Okay, we're back with Port Brewing's Old Viscosity, aged in oak barrels, of course. First off, I gotta say, for 10%, look at that head. That's very, very impressive. It's got that sort of lumpy milkshake head. In fact, it foamed up quite a bit, as you can see. It sort of overflowed a bit on me here. Slightly tan head. 2 fingers, 2.5 fingers worth or so. So right to the aroma here. Ooh. Very malty, very, very malty, very thick on the malts. You definitely get that woody oak barrel sort of scent there. A big caramel, slightly coffee-ish kind of note. Toffee, caramel. And yeah, that woody note for the barrels is pretty strong. It's like the dominant note there. But it's at the same time, it just like sort of smoothly incorporates with the other notes I'm getting in the aroma here. Wow, that's a really good smelling beer, I gotta say. We gotta get right into the taste here. Ooh. Wow. It is thick. Definitely has a thick mouthfeel to it, very full-bodied. Very dry. Must be the alcohol I'm tasting at the end there. That 10% does come out a bit. But, you know, it's not overpowering. It's not a cloying sweetness that you get from some beers with too much alcohol coming through. It feels like it's intentional that you should be getting some of this alcohol out of the beer. You get the alcohol, and I'm pretty sure it's combining with the oakiness, so you get this sort of woody, dry, really dry finish, which is slightly bitter. Not a lot coming out from the malt flavors, really. Sort of slight toasted maltiness there. Sort of reminds me of an Imperial Stout. I'm thinking that might be the style they're shooting for here. In fact, now as it's starting to get more of it in here, it is coming out with those sort of espresso chocolate, sort of combination between the two, espresso, sort of baker's chocolate bitterness, and the malt. And that combines really well with the barrel age. This is definitely not a beer for everybody. This is definitely aimed to a sort of a specific sort of beer drinker who's really into strong, harsh beers, harsh flavors. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone who's a beginner into craft beer. This would probably turn you right off. Especially if you're not, haven't developed your palate enough to where you can detect some of the subtleties. If you were just going into this like a blind, basically just a virgin craft beer enthusiast, pretty much all you would pick up is the dry woodiness in the alcohol, I think. But those sort of toasted malts are coming out here for me. Tastes very much like a very dry, less sweet version of an Russian Imperial Stout. It's kind of like, reminds me of Oscar Blues Tin Fitty, but it doesn't have that sweet sort of almost black cherry kind of taste to it. It doesn't have that sort of fruitiness. It's just like all toasted malt. And then it moves right over to the barrel-aged dryness and the alcohol coming out from behind. Drinkability on this is going to suffer because of that, quite honestly, even for me. I can't see myself having more than one of these, but at the same time, that's sort of the point, isn't it, too? I should mention the color. I forgot to do that. Dark brown. Chocolatey dark brown, almost like baker's chocolate. Sort of looks like a porter of sorts. Actually, I think the closest thing I've seen to this, and I've only seen it in pictures, Carlsberg, I believe, make a porter of some sort, or an Imperial Stout, one or the other, and it looked exactly like that. You can find that in Michael Jackson's 500 Great Beers, or whatever the hell that book's called. Alright, I'm rambling a bit. So, in conclusion, this is Port Brewing's Old Viscosity Ale. It's one hell of a kick in the fucking ass. If you're a seasoned beer drinker, you're looking for those harsh flavors. You're looking for, like, basically, tastes like an oak-aged Imperial Stout, I guess. Is the best way to classify it. I'll check Beer Advocate later and see what they think and rate beer. Probably totally off compared to what they think. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I don't want to go any higher. The drinkability is a bit low on this. It is a bit of a chore to go through, even for someone like me who likes bigger beers. I guess it's because the flavor profile is kind of simple. There's not a lot of complexity there, and you would expect a bit more, like just a teeny bit more, like some extra flavors in there somewhere. But really, it's just moves over from here to here. It's balanced fairly well, but it doesn't really give you a breather. I guess is the best way to say it. It's like one harsh flavor to the next. So 4 out of 5 for Old Viscosity. That's still an 8 out of 10. It's an excellent beer. It's just one you got to be cautious about beer. All right, thanks, Norm. Probably going to do those 2 IPAs you sent me with my brother, as he's a bigger fan of IPAs than I am. and we'll get back to you soon, guys.